Welcome to Who Knew. We are fans of the current series of Doctor Who, and here we discuss our likes, dislikes, and insights into the modern regeneration of the show. Subscribe, review, and listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, or our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WhoKnewPodcast. All our episodes are on whoknewpodcast.com. You can leave comments there or email us at whoknewpodcast@gmail.com. We also have an Instagram and Twitter account. Tweet at us at whoknewpodcast. Find us on Facebook.
My name is Katrin Stewart and I am part of the Paternoster Gang. Playing Miss Jenny Flint in Doctor Who. I hear you are a big fan of Doctor Who, and you even have your own podcast called Who Knew? Who Knew? It's a good name.
Today's episode is Season 10, Episode 4, Knock Knock. Bill and her friends are looking for a place to rent. An offer for an old mansion is too good to pass up. But what exactly is hiding behind the decaying walls and creaking floors? This episode is written by Mark Bartlett, directed by Bill Anderson. It originally aired on the 6th of May 2017 and was watched by 4.32 million viewers. Hi, this is Eugene. Let's introduce ourselves.
Hi, this is Brian.
Hello, this is Frank.
Hello, welcome to our spooky episode. This is Kelsey.
Hello, this is Auburn.
Bill's group of friends rent an old house and want to move in right away. Bill is suspicious because it's so cheap, but her friends are thrilled. One of her friends, Pavel, moves in that night. He's playing records in his room when something terrifies him. The next night, the group is discussing the odd happenings going on in the house when a loud bang happens. Bill leads everyone to the kitchen, where they discover the doctor exploring the room. The doctor is convinced something is up with the house. It's in too much disrepair and appears not to have been updated in decades.
The first thing I wanted to ask is, where did they film this? Where is that house? Do you know?
They filmed it in a couple places, South Wales, Cardiff.
Okay. I didn't know if the exterior of the house was like a famous place. Because it's like, we need a creepy house. Well, that works.
It's also on the same property that was used for Western Drumlins and Blink.
Was it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. But in the beginning, when they're looking at that small, narrow house that goes like further back and has narrow bedrooms, that place was a house, like a couple of houses away from Terry Nation's house, where he's the creator of the Daleks, and there's a plaque stating that at that property. And it's also close to where Roald Dahl lived in Cardiff.
Does this season, Bill and the Doctor's school, is that in Cardiff this season? Do you know? Like some seasons they have they're definitely in a place in Great Britain, right? Like a specific city.
We're talking about the university he teaches at, right?
Yeah, I just haven't felt like it's been identified strongly this season. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I thought it was a pretty long opening before we got to the credits. It seemed a good chunk rather than just a quick little snippet. Because walking through all the different houses, looking at all the different places, and where are you going to find a 6-bedroom place? Seriously, that's the first thing that got me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I did like how it was, Bill didn't know these people. Like, it seemed like, right? Like, they were all kind of thrown together. Like, Bill knew Shireen, and Shireen was friends with the other people. So that a little difficult to track, like, who's who. And names just, it didn't matter. But
well, they were all red shirts anyway.
Yes. But it was fun, to see that youthful thing where, they're all getting to know each other, a little bit of flirtations, and also at the same time looking for different houses and getting characters that way. Yeah, I
nostalgic.
Yes, I enjoyed the beginning. It's like, young people being young.
I know a lot of people, and I did at first, just thought, okay, they're just the background characters. They're not going to be in-depth like we've had on some of the others. But somehow I think they really made it work as to them just meeting each other and that feeling, and they were enough of real people that we just haven't gotten to know them yet.
Yeah,
rather than
including Bill.
Right.
Bill doesn't know them either, which is kind of.
Which I thought was really a nice touch to it, rather than using them solely, as just background one-dimensional people, and also we don't have to know too much about them. That's not what the story's about. They're not going to be the main characters in it, but they did a good job, I think, of setting them up that it felt right. It just felt good.
I will say the Pavel and Paul, I got them confused and mixed up at one point. Just the
Mhm.
P's. Just they should have picked a different name for one of them.
Well, it's like Dave and other Dave,
But then you say other Dave, so that makes me
right?
remember that where Paul and Pavel are close. This also shows how smart Bill is. I really enjoy that, where she's the one like, this is too good to be true, guys. What's up with that? And then when they hear that noise in the kitchen and they go, they're like, you check it out, Pavel. You're the taller, the bigger one. And he's
Paul.
like, oh, I'm more. Oh, Paul. See, I did it again. They're like, Paul, check it out. You're bigger, taller. They're like, well, that means I'm expendable. Bill is the one to go in first, and then they all comically follow, like, oh, let's go.
Which I thought was a great little bit. I thought it was done really well.
I also
And I thought you
thought
were going to
that
meant that you were saying that Bill was a smart one because she got the doctor to move her stuff.
Well, that too. That's
I
fine.
was going to bring that up. It's like that is a really good character growth moment for the Doctor. I mean, would the Doctor have ever been used as a storage van before this? No. And even when he drops off the boxes, he's like, well, why are we outside? I'll just take it to the room. It's like, who is this man? The Doctor would be like kicking the boxes out of the TARDIS and leaving. It's like, how dare you use me as just a mover? But it's almost like he suggested it. He's just being really nice. It is nice.
Well, and I took it as because he's been like working at the university and not taking adventures. Is that right?
Yeah,
What
he's
we're
been grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, now that he has Bill, he's just overly enthusiastic about everything. But I also enjoyed the continued motif of like that, dropping your kid off at college or school for the first time, and they're too embarrassed to be seen with, the
Right.
adult. And yeah,
Mom and Dad don't want to leave.
he's my grandfather. Yes, like that was all fun.
I love this. Like, I'm not old enough.
And
Yeah,
it-
at first that's odd, but it's because he's known to these people because of teaching at the school, because they all knew him. Oh, the doctor's here. They never really said, well, why is the doctor here?
Yeah.
They just saw him. So she just jumped ahead of that, the grandfather part.
Mhm.
Well, but they don't know Bill. So, and also Bill only works at the university. So it's like, oh, you got your grandfather's a professor and got you a job. That's kind of the big, headcanon spin that I'm doing quickly to explain
I
that.
forgot that we've only been with Bill a short time. It seems longer because I've really done a lot of having them interact more than just a story. It was more their relationship is more character driven. And so when she said, "What's a Time Lord?" it kind of threw me this time, going, or I'm putting too much on their emphasis of it, but it's just surprised. Wow, she doesn't know that yet. It seems like she knows so much because she keeps asking all these questions.
Yeah, and in that scene where Bill has her boxes of stuff piled inside the TARDIS console, Capaldi improv that bit where he grabs the teddy bear and like does some business with it as he's talking to her about what you just mentioned, Frank. So there's a lot of Peter Capaldi improv things going on here in this episode.
See, they
I
worked well
love the
together.
line, oh, are they like royalty with the big hats? No, the big colors.
Colors.
Yeah.
It's like
yes,
robes,
they're
yes.
And then that one quick little, yes, they're very much like royals. That's why I ran away. And then it just moves on. No, I'm not going to tell you what regeneration is.
Well, even in that bit, they're talking about sleep, and he says sleep is for tortoises. That's a very deep cut for Talons of Wang Chang from the Fourth Doctor, Tom Baker.
Oh,
Did not
I
catch
don't know if I've ever seen that one all the way through. I hear it's just too racist.
Yes. There's another one that I had. Oh, it's a nice moment when Bill is in her new room and she puts and hangs the photo that the doctor took of her mother and kind of shows mom quotes around the room. I like that.
Yes.
And then she references episodes that we've done with her, saying there's no living puddles or weird robots or big fish, which is the pilot, smile, and thin ice.
That was good. I like that.
I never got that the doctor took that photo. That was a photograph the doctor gave her
Yes.
after he took them. It's like, oh, now I want to watch that scene again.
See, that's what's nice about these references. They don't call out to them. Like if you don't know what they're talking
It's a sweet little
about.
moment all on its own.
Yeah, but if you don't know what they're talking about, like you said, it's just that sweet moment. But if you do, it adds that extra layer of being a fan.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm glad you reminded us that the doctor took that photo because at the end it all got destroyed. So I was really worried about all of their stuff and if that was like something that she had preserved. But yeah, no, thank you for the reminder. So you can just print off another one.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad now. This is a good point to mention the sound design like throughout was really fun. I started you know the kids inside the house and all the creaking, but then even outside the wind or lack of wind with the trees still creaking and moaning like a lot of the tension is from like well placed knocks or creaks or skitterings in the ceiling.
In the DVD commentary, it's the director and writer, Mike and Bill. They talked about how their first pass or first cut had so much sound design that it became comical. So they were like,
Oh.
"Oh, we need to do this properly." And they scaled back and added the creaks and the scratches and the skitterings very methodically throughout this episode. So I thought that was funny. I'm curious to see what that was like. Like just a step and like I put my hand down, there's a creak, and just want to know what that sounded like in that
Yeah.
original pass.
My favorite is right in the beginning when Pavel's moving into his room and he creaks on the floor and he's like, what does they say? Excellent or cool? I think he says cool, where he steps on in cool and he keeps going. It's like, you say that now. Well, there was one quick thing where they said we're going to have to get a landline because there's no reception. And somebody says, what is this, Scotland?
Yeah.
That was funny.
And also, they keep bringing up how much wood is in there. I mean, when they find the doctor in the pantry or cupboard, wherever that is, he has the Sonic, but he didn't say anything about it. But he just said, "There's a lot of wood." So if you know it doesn't work on wood, you kind of get a little of that not desperation, aggravation or whatever, in that you can't do anything with the Sonic. It's useless. And there's a lot of wood.
I think that's why it's great in this episode that he's mostly using it as a flashlight and not as a device to scan things.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Like you said earlier, they don't make too much of a point on things, but it just is a little bit nice.
Also in the room as Bill is hanging the portrait of her mom with the sound design, like there's a creak, and then Bill actually kind of makes a sound back, like she growls back at the house.
Yes.
Was fun and like also is a great character moment of how much she is trying to deny the strangeness of the situation. Like you never bark back at your house for making a creak or you know what I mean? Like she knows that it's not a good situation, but she keeps trying to deny it, especially after the doctor comes in like, "Oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine."
Yeah, that is nice.
The landlord appears, saying he was just checking on things. When confronted with the group's complaints, he doesn't appear at all concerned. But when asked about the house's tower, his mood changes, which the doctor finds interesting. Later, Bill and Shireen hear Paul screaming in his room. While trying to get into a locked room, doors in the hallway slam shut and knocking is heard all around them. Inside, they find Pavel half absorbed in the wooden wall of his bedroom. Suddenly, the landlord appears, stops the music that has been playing since the night before, and Pavel is completely absorbed. The landlord says that they signed a contract and now it's time to pay. Downstairs, the group discovers the front door is locked and sealed. Felicity panics and escapes through a window, but is quickly absorbed by a tree.
I thought that was maybe a scene that was cut, like she's afraid of being trapped, like a phobia. It was just very odd. Her very determinedness to get out and not
She
be
doesn't
trapped.
realize she's on a TV show, though.
No, but it just feels like that there was more that the writer put in and made this character more three-dimensional that we just never got.
Possibly, but I don't think I didn't need it.
No, that's why it's not there.
And I was thinking, oh, good, she realizes she's in a murder kind of house that we've all seen, and she's trying to get out. And like, yay, she actually fights her way out and doesn't live. That kind of like all the time you keep saying, well, just get out of the house. Yeah, it's not going to help. It doesn't help in these type of situations.
No, that's what I like about it.
It reminded me of Scream,
Mhm.
like this series of events or scenes. Like I thought it was very effective for like a haunted or it's like a scary movie or a scary episode. Especially the way that they did Pavel in the wood. In his eyes are like white, I think.
They
But
digitally
then,
made them white.
okay, but
Yeah.
then, so you're like, oh, he's all wood, but then his eyes start to move. Like, oh man, that was spooky.
That was another thing in the commentary they commented on about, yeah, we made that choice because it is creepy. And I'm glad you brought that up. Oh, well, when I first watched it, I didn't understand what happened with Shireen when she escaped because it was kind of dark. I really remember being confused at that moment, way back in 2017. But now that I can rewind it and uh, just brighten the TV, it's clearly a tree.
That wasn't Shireen. Who was it?
No,
Felicity,
Felicity.
sorry, Felicity.
Felicity.
These
Did I
names
say
don't
Shireen?
matter.
No, I said Felicity. Yeah.
True, true. Okay, we
Um,
didn't get enough time to really know them until they all started going. So it's like, oh well,
Yeah.
Felicity I've written it down.
I liked Shireen and Bill outside of Paul's. Like they thought that Paul was like pretending or just like yeah, pretending with them. So they knocked and a knock comes back and so that releases tension. You're like, oh okay, it's all good. But then the knocks increase like all over, like from different areas of the house. So that was really fun. A way to like
Yeah.
say like you take it down to like, oh, there's nothing to worry about, but then you ratchet it right back up to like plus over 100. So that, yeah, great
Yeah,
job
and
building that.
for sure. And again, the sound design, like we have to place these methodically.
And then Bill and Shreen did a great job of, together hearing it from different areas and their reactions sold it. But yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of comedy scenes, when the landlord shows up out of nowhere and he's like, "Oh, there's one still upstairs and there's another one," meaning the doctor. "Are you going to stay the night?" And the doctor just eats that like chicharron chip and he keeps eating it as the landlord is telling them, like, "You made it, you signed a contract, you have to do this, you have to do that." And then they start to complain about what they don't have, like a washing machine, uh, landlines, proper plugs for their devices. Yeah, that's all Peter Capaldi. He did that on set, started eating, and people were like, let's roll with that.
He did that with the sushi as well and other things. Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah. But there
very
was, I don't
crafty on
think,
the set.
yeah, I don't think there was commentary on Dr. Mysterio with the sushi, but here it's confirmed that he did that as an improv.
Hmm.
How close was the microphone? Because that was a loud, crisp.
Probably sound design. Oh, going back to when they find him in the pantry, what makes that scene funny is the dropping of like a pan or a bowl. You hear that comical doop as he turns around, not in here, and then it drops. So there's a lot of good sound design. Like you don't need to see that saucepan or whatever dropping, but you hear it.
Right.
I don't know when it is. It might be later on, but there's one point where the landlord is just spewing his BS, and there's just a quick shot of the doctor, and he just like quickly rolls his eyes at Bill,
Mhm.
and then you just get this. I think they cut back to Bill, and she's like, "I know," and it's just like, okay, this is good.
I did like the
Yeah.
interaction between Bill and the doctor when she's telling him to get out. Everything's fine. It's only an old house. He goes, okay, I'm leaving. And keep going, you're not going to leave, are you? No. So I just like that little bit. I was like, no, there's something going on here. And she wants normalcy, but she doesn't want any of that because all this is exciting and new for her. We're trying to get her. This is her world that the doctor's come into rather than the other way around.
And then I have a criticism here because it's inconsistent with what the doctor has said in a previous episode. Once Felicity is out, and then the shutters, Harry and the doctor try to pry them open, and they can't. Harry says, "I'm scared." The doctor replies with, "Don't be, it doesn't help," which is counter to what he said in Listen, that fear can make a person faster, clever, and stronger. I'm like, did this guy not watch that episode?
I have a theory behind that.
And the theory is
Oh, okay.
We're waiting.
No, because honestly, I thought Frank might take it. But in Listen, he's talking to a child who, the father figure is helping the child to deal with something. And in this episode, yeah, he's a college kid, but he's a grown person. So this is a grown person. It's like, I don't have time for grown-ups to panic. Let's go. So I think in the context of the situation, they both work just fine. He's he's helping a child and then he's stopping a hindrance in the context.
Yeah, I think that's consistent also with The Doctor Lies.
But I wouldn't be doing my job as a podcaster if I didn't bring it up.
Right.
And we also could go back because nobody, I don't think anybody's mentioned this, but who told us that rule number one of the Doctor is the Doctor lies? Well, that's River. Well, I think River lies a lot too. So is she lying? When she says the Doctor always lies, is that a lie?
Well, also, if we go back all the way to the 10th Doctor and Girl in the Fireplace, rule number one is wait 5 hours.
Well, the other thing with Felicity going outside, like not only did that build, some of the tension on her, but it allowed us to see outside and see all the shutters closing, which, as she was claustrophobic, like this episode could have felt more claustrophobic, but I don't think it really did. Like I never felt trapped.
Yeah.
Kind of, but I felt, the tension, but not from like the walls closing in or anything.
Right.
For me, it always felt kind of big, and
Yeah.
with lots of little nooks and crannies to hide it.
I wonder if that was
Oh.
an idea that was just too expensive to execute.
I got it that it was closed off. It
Mhm.
felt small for a big house. I don't know, just to me, it was like everywhere they go, there's a small kitchen, there's a small thing, but it's like, sure, the bedrooms were big, but it just seemed even the hallways seemed narrow.
I might have took it as, boy, there's a lot of rooms in this house.
Right.
This house goes on forever.
And
Yeah, I
also
think
could be
that's what
because
I was doing.
Paul looked like a giant, and Paul's the tall one, so that's me. It's like, okay, he has a duck to get under the door. This place is small.
Oh, another callback or Easter egg, whatever you want to call them. The Doctor says he loves Chinese food before he goes into that room with the landlord. He said that previously in Dreamland, and that's the animated Dreamland in The Power of Three.
Hmm.
Oh, and I forgot about this part. Another instance that makes Bill smart is that she's the first one to say, does it have something to do with the music? When they see Pavel in the wall, because the record is still playing.
Yeah. I am a little surprised no one went to go check on him because it obviously was stuck. It was skipping, just replaying the same part. And it's like, okay, that's annoying. What is he doing? Just to find that out. So I was a little surprised they didn't go up there beforehand.
Well, I agree with you, but to be cheeky, working with editors and music producers, oftentimes when you do hear that same thing over and over, you're like, what are you changing? It sounds the same. No, I agree.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense because that's what they said. That's what he does.
Yeah.
So they were used to that. Maybe he has done things like that where it's like, okay, do not disturb him yet. He is working on something. That makes more sense.
They were just self-involved kids.
True. They were busy moving in, so they're distracted. Bill and Shireen run to the tower and find an old bedroom. A woman emerges and calls out for her father. Her name is Eliza and is completely made of wood. Downstairs, the Doctor and Harry are running from a group of insects that have swarmed out from the wood cupboard. The Doctor confronts the landlord and demands to know why he's feeding people to the insects. The landlord says that it's necessary in order to keep his daughter alive. Instead of being eaten, the Doctor offers to help her. In the tower, Shireen is consumed by the insects, and Eliza absorbs her life energy. The Doctor figures out that the landlord is Eliza's son, not her father, and he's been trying to save her any way he can. Finding out the terrible things that he has done, Eliza summons the insects, which devour both of them. The house begins to collapse, and all of Bill's friends emerge from the wood. Back at the university, the Doctor brings dinner to whatever is inside the vault. I think it's Bill that figures out that the landlord is the son, but
Is it?
I think so.
It could be.
He knows there's something.
Oh, yeah. She says that the landlord would be a lot older
Because of the 70s.
because of the 70s.
Evidence. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's the one to first verbalize it, and then the Doctor picks up on it.
You want
Yeah,
to change
for a
it?
minute,
No,
for a
it's
minute, I
fine.
thought they were saying that the landlord wasn't human, and especially with the Doctor and his trying to reason it out, he was like, oh, the bugs can capture the image but not the memories, And then I was like, did the bugs create this landlord?
Right.
And then I was like, oh no, they meant the Shireen's memory. So she doesn't remember that that's her son or that that's not her father. So
Eliza.
Eliza. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Eliza.
Eliza's son. Oh,
Eliza.
yeah. So it's Eliza's memories that the bugs weren't able to
Preserve, I guess.
preserve, I guess. And so Eliza doesn't remember that that's not her father.
They cut a scene out that we saw, a deleted scene that explained it, and it should have, for me, stayed in. I was like, this one has all the information that I kept questioning. It was after the doctor says, maybe I can help. And so the two of them are talking, and the landlord's son tells what happened in that, he left the insects in with his mom. He comes back and they've healed part of her, but then as time went by, she started getting worse again. And somebody came into the vagrant, that's the word, I couldn't remember what he had said, came in and they all devoured him, and then his mom got better. We saw that connection. That's what triggered this whole thing, that a bystander came in and all the insects ate him, and then she was better. So that's what started the whole cycle. Whenever she was getting worse, then he would go out and find people to feed the creatures to get her better again. So it's also, I think, part of the reason why her memory wasn't there is because she was going on the down slope.
Well, the reason that was cut, I am surmising, is that they added the tag with the vault at the end.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I know.
I kept going also, like, how are these things living off of the people? But she gets all the essence of the person. So it just was confusing about how that was all done, and just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I agree. They should have kept that scene. I'm glad you brought it up.
So it just helped clarify a lot of the motivation, how it came about to be, even if they don't explain all of it. It just made more sense rather than what they just jumped to at the end. It seemed really quick to try and get all this stuff and not really explain it.
Very quick. I remember that was one of my first opinions of this episode. I was enjoying it until the very end, because
Me too.
It just moves like lightning, and you're like, no, you took this time. Don't shortcut it at the end by having it mostly exposition.
Right.
And that's why, I mean, I wrote the summary to kind of point that out, where it's just kind of like, okay, they get eaten, everybody else survives, and now we're back at the vault. So,
Yeah.
I was intentionally writing it that way. But I remember that it was like, okay, well, this is kind of a fun episode. This is a fun episode. And then it gets to the end, and all her friends come back. They all regrow, and they're fine, and they all run out. And it was like, okay, you lost me. That's when this kind of fell into, I don't like territory. If they had stayed dead, I'd have more respect for the episode.
Or the ones that got absorbed first, because like Shireen, I think she was still salvageable because it just happened. But like Felicity and Pavel and Paul shouldn't have made it back.
Harry could have, right.
Harry could have, because he and Shireen were just absorbed. So there's still that proximity of time.
But what I'm trying to get is, because Harry and the doctor said it happened every 20 years. There's a 20-year cycle. So however long it took them to actually devour the people lasted that long.
Somebody should have said a throwaway line then.
Yeah, no, I agree. Oh, I agree. That's the only way I could think of it. And that's why the other people's essence or whatever have already been used up. That's why she was declining. But now here they just have them, and maybe they're, it would have been better to see them stored somewhere, that they're waiting on it.
It might have been.
What Brian had said earlier was that it's because of the mother releasing the other people. She gave up that essence that she was getting back into them, so they were able to come back out.
Did I? Wow, I'm smart.
Because the mother was with it going, thank you, and all that. Because all she said
Yeah,
was,
there was a
"Thank you."
throwaway line where
She
he
was
says
part of
it's
it.
too old. They're too old for 20 years ago.
Or the doctor said it.
Someone said it. The doctor said she's releasing them.
Yeah. I think as he was pulling Shireen out.
They could have gone like more fully the other way and have like a bunch of kids like dressed in like period pieces from each time. That would have been.
I was hoping for that.
Yeah, that would have been
Like,
another direction.
They could have done that, thinking about what happened, because the landlord is now revealed as the son, kind of killing people, right?
Yeah.
The mom, Eliza, understands now what's been going on, that she's the mom and not the daughter, and the horrors that the son has been doing to keep her alive. And I get it for the sort of Western storytelling. The bad guy needs to suffer, or repercussions need to happen. So that's why the mother in this case chooses to end both of their lives. The son is like, let's say, 70 years old. He's old, so he's got that life force in him. She could have used that to convert the other victims back to life. And that's why they both expire, because all of their life, two people's combined life forces are now freeing the others. But they didn't go that route. I don't know. That would have made it
Maybe
better for me.
when like Shireen comes back and Harry comes back, and as they're all running out of the house, you see like half of Pavel lying on the ground, and Felicity's like half out of the tree dead. They're like partially eaten, like in a Alien.
No.
Well, that's a different story than we got.
I'd respect it more than them. Oh, hey, they're back. That's nice. We all reset.
Yeah, that was too convenient. I agree with that.
But they also reset without the memory, and that's the only way I'll accept it. Is because all of them are going, oh, our new place, it's gone.
And that's
Nothing
it.
about
Yeah.
being sucked into the wood and all the creatures that are there. No, nothing about that. Or
better,
keep
though.
running.
That's good for them. I'm happy that the characters don't have that trauma.
So they don't have the memory. That has to be it.
That's very Doctor Who, though. It's like, oh, a giant robot walking around Victorian London. No one remembers. Okay. Just humans remember what they want to remember.
Well, now, like, that gives me more questions. What happened to the 6 other tenants that were devoured in the 70s? Like, how come there's no police reports? There's no searching.
Throwaway line. The doctor says somebody says they would, their students, they just disappeared.
The
No one
landlord.
talked about it, which is a BS throwaway line.
See, that's why I don't like that line, because I'm like,
Yeah.
the parents, the families would be looking for their kids.
Yeah.
I do like in this section, Bill again kind of figures out where the tower is. So
Mhm.
that's again showing that she's thinking, and she even Indiana Jones the bookcase
Right.
to
Well,
find the secret.
The earlier line from, I think, Pavel, there's a bookcase that has a secret switch or whatever. He says earlier when they're moving in.
Yes. And that was just a good she's thinking quick on her feet. I think she's running from the bugs and like reasons out. The tower has to be at the end of this hallway. Yeah. She's a thinker and a doer.
Yes. And some more praise on this section. Most of the time, I don't like flashbacks that are used this way. It feels kind of like a cheat. But the fact that they did the flashbacks for the young boy and the old landlord, that's what made it okay for me, because the flashbacks were used as, this is the version of the story that we got from the evidence. And then when they realize it's not, they go back and then they show us what really happened. And I kind of enjoyed that because he goes, why would an old man bring these bugs to his daughter? Doesn't make sense. And then they go back and like, oh, if you change the age, it makes sense how a kid is curious about stuff on the outside, wants to show his mom something.
Yeah.
And the actor of the landlord, really good when he delivers that moment. David Chouchette, when he says, if you could save the one who brought you into this world, wouldn't you? Just like I really felt him, and I felt that moment. And then the doctor says nothing, and he goes, your silence is a confirmation. Like that. It's good. Good stuff there.
But I think in the deleted scene, because they also had that same interaction, but the answer was different.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor was, yes, I would. And kept going on, and you could just see
I'd burn the
the
solar.
fear you have of the doctor, where you know that he can go too far, and he was going on, like Brian was saying, I would destroy everything. I'd destroy the solar system, everything down to the being. And I'd only hope for one thing, and that is somebody's there to stop me. And so that leads right into him going to get help to Eliza in that scene where the doctor and the landlord come in.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So I did like the line saying your silence, confirmation, but this other scene did it, I think, so much better. Wish we would let that scene in.
Again, I think we agree that if we removed the tag, we would have had a stronger episode with all these deleted scenes integrated.
I mean, that was the same scene. That's how come it seems like so important to me. Yeah. Both of those things are in that same, what was it, minute and 10 seconds or so?
Yeah, something like that. Well, I mean, it also kind of hits not differently, but on a different level, because you know that Bill doesn't have her mom, and the doctor doesn't have his people and his mom as well.
Right.
So it's like he's speaking to both of them, and like he just went a little further than they did, or a lot further in this case.
Also, I think a reason I didn't like the ending the first time and also this time is when the doctor and Harry are talking, I think in the kitchen, before they get attacked by the insects. It's like there's something in the wood. And to me, I went to the Vashta. It's like the dust particles, something like that. But as I know the shadows, but it just seemed like, oh, maybe it got incorporated. They're saying something got incorporated in there, because also they came from wood because they were in the books and all that. So it just, to me, it's like, oh, they're going to go back to there. That's really cool. And then we got the ending we did of a wooden woman. And that just didn't live up to my expectations that I didn't know I had really until that moment.
But I will say the prosthetics on Eliza look good.
Yes.
It reminded me of the episode with the Weeping Angels and the no, not that one. The Narnia one.
Yeah, the widow.
Yeah.
The doctor, the widow, and the wardrobe or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tree King at the end.
Mhm.
And then also, what is it? End of the World?
Yeah, with Jade.
Yeah, Jade. It's like they like wooden creatures.
It just wasn't what. It's like, where are we going with this? Because also the insects that came out, the wood lice, the roaches, whatever,
Cicadas.
to me looked like little cybermites. It's like, is it cybermites, but they moved to wood? Are they creating just not knowing what they're? I mean, they can come up with so many good stories. So I didn't know if they were doing something else because the little antennae lighting up just seemed very odd and cyber-like.
When the doctor they didn't even bother to say that the doctor recognized these things as something that has existed. He's just like, I'm just calling them dryads because
because they're new.
Yeah.
To him, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think dryad is like in Greek like a wood nymph, right? Like a wood spirit or something. So yeah, it's like a Doctor Who usually goes like way more, not necessarily scientific, but at least like to explain like, oh, these are like Vashta Narada that came on the wood of the tree paper and now they're living here. It's just like a forest. Like this was just, it doesn't matter. Names don't matter.
They don't.
Maybe because I thought of referencing too many different things because you're always looking for it because they always drop these little Easter eggs or references. And so there are two right there going, oh, it's a Vashta. Oh no, it's a cybermite?
Oh yeah,
so it's like, okay, wait a minute. This is something totally new that you took, that I are so close enough, I guess, to have me think of two other, enemies, aliens that we've had before.
In this episode, I just remembered like there was another thing I think where the doctor acted like he recognized it, and Bill was like, "Oh, have you seen that before?" Or one of the characters was like, "Oh, have you seen that before?" Maybe it was the bugs.
It is. It's a throwaway line, like a Vashti something he says.
Yeah, but then he's like, no, never seen him. Maybe it is about the bug names.
Don't remember. Let me see if I can find that.
Yeah, Harry did talk to him about it as they're going down.
But it just, in the moment, it was like, yes, that is exactly the type of like thing that the doctor would say. And I would ask Eugene, is this from the past? Like he says like, oh, I've had experience or something.
Right.
Yeah. And then he immediately says, no, that it wasn't from a past episode. Like, but not so many words. I was like, oh, I
haven't seen him. Have you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I can't find it, but I know what you're talking about, and I think that's just something they made up.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Like, and not that podcasts were happening at this time about the show, maybe, but yeah, just one of those. No, don't go looking back to the archives. This is just something we invented just now. You don't have to write us about it. I do like how at the end of the episode, before we get to the vault, the doctor does just leave all these kids essentially homeless, and like all their stuff has just been destroyed in this house, like that they just moved into. Like, see ya, kids.
You got your lives and the shirt on your back. That's all.
So this doctor. I was like, okay, that's
at least they have their lives. Yes.
Yeah. But like that reminded me of when it's maybe in the middle when he comes in and he's talking to the landlord and Bill is not in the scene yet. He's very concerned for Bill. He's like, is Bill okay?
Yes.
I'm like, this is like Brian mentioned earlier. This is nice that this is a caring doctor.
I liked him asking about the prime minister.
That was smart. And the way the landlord diverts it. So he's like, Bill's going to be safe. I'll make sure she's fine. So it was nice to have both characters be smart in that moment.
The one thing I didn't like about that actor's performance was, I think, directing of how he was supposed to do the big mustache twirling. You don't go into the West Wing. You don't go into the tower. Because right at the beginning, when they first saw it, it's like, no, you don't go in there because it's not safe. It's not, because it's an older place. So you get that. So to me, I think he would have said more like, I told you first came in, that's off limits. It's not safe. You can't go there. Rather than this big turn into this big baddie. It's like, okay, that was to try and get it across for kids. He's not a nice old man. I don't know.
I also enjoyed the way he used the tuning fork to kind of just manipulate the dryads into like, right now you're calm, and then right now you're going to kill and absorb whoever is in this room. I don't know. It's weird that there's a lot of sound elements in this episode. It reminded me of the Lazarus experiment, I believe, where that's at the end there's a bell tower or a bell that sonically disrupts the Mark Gaddis monster at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just I get it. We have a sonic screwdriver, so there's a lot of sound motifs throughout Doctor Who. So this was another episode that I felt could have been a little stronger.
But I agree that the tuning fork was a fun, like, weapon, I'll say, or device for this character, the villain, to have, because it wasn't like fully explained, but linked to the music, the bugs react to it.
Made it more active.
Yeah, and it's also
Made him like an active. He was actively taking part in the demise of these
Yeah.
children. He wasn't just walking around being like, "Oh, yep, the house is creepy."
well, and it made him more creepy, right?
Yeah.
To always have this weird action that's not explained, but is very sinister, like in the way that he does it, was just added to the atmosphere without necessarily calling out what was going on, just enough to know, wow, this is very off, and this guy is acting even more off. Yeah.
I thought when I first saw it that first time that he was calming the house down when he did that, because he did it before anything happened. When everyone was going, he was always squeaking, all this stuff was going on, and then so he did that, and I thought was calming down the house, getting it in frequency or whatever. And then it's like, oh no, he's calling them to get food. So it's like,
Like dinner time.
Could have been a triangle.
I guess we're back at the vault. The takeaway for whatever is in there was
Yeah, again, the doctor's being nice. Hey, you want to hear a story? I brought dinner.
and gave them a piano, or gave whatever a piano.
Yeah.
And options of cuisine, Mexican. Whoever's in there didn't like Mexican food. And then once he says something about there are kids that are in danger or something like that.
The kids get eaten.
Yeah, kids get eaten. The song that person is playing is now "Pop Goes the Weasel," meaning yes, that's the one, that one. And before that person is playing on the piano Fleur Elise from Beethoven, so that's nice.
And the way the doctor said Nardal's name, because it's usually the accent on the first syllable, Nardal. This is Nardal. No, it's just like a parent going, okay, I'm done. Saying your whole name type of thing. So that was an interesting interaction, and Nardal got that going, okay, no fighting this one. Losing battle. Okay.
When they also continued the musical kind of connection with who is in the vault playing the piano. So it was nice to get, like, in this we had a few practical musics, with the record player, and then
Spotify.
the doctor was playing the phone music, and then at the end we have purportedly an actual instrument playing the music. And I enjoy that when shows find a practical way to bring in
I agree.
the music element
Instead of just a regular needle drop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that scene with the Spotify bit. The doctor, Peter Capaldi, is hilarious in that, where he clearly is not up to speed with modern music. And so he like glances, he's like, yeah, I love this. And then he turns away from them to look at the device to see what's playing. It's funny.
Also, do I know who this is? Of course I know who this is.
Yeah.
So he did that well. It was fun.
Oh, and Brian, I confirmed that the location is Fields Park Road in Newport, South Wales.
Okay. Well, it's a creepy house.
All right, so I'm going to go through the cast real quick. David Suchet plays the landlord. He's been working in the entertainment business since 1970. At least that's his first credit that I found. The movies I remember him in, he mostly plays bad guys of Middle Eastern Descent, Iron Eagle, Harry and Henderson's Executive Decision. But I think he's most known as Hercule Poirot in the Poirot that ran from 1989 to 2013.
Oh, Masterpiece
Wow.
Theater. Okay.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, and that's so funny.
Okay.
My family were a fan of Perot. We have the DVDs, but I didn't recognize him. I mean, he was familiar, but until you said David Suchet, Eugene, I was like, wait, what? Perot? And so I looked it up just to make sure. And I'm sorry, what a get! Like, as a fan of Perot, like good on Doctor Who. And so then I was on his IMDb page, and it says that David Suchet, when he was on a talk show in Britain, said that he signed on without reading the script. And it says, when my agent rang up and said they'd like you to be in Doctor Who, I said yes. She said, do you want to read the script first? I said no, I just want to be in one.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool and then also according to IMDb, he was previously considered for the Ninth Doctor. Now
A
I
lot
don't.
of people were, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's true, but
But
still,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's kind of cool. I think he would have been a great Doctor, but then I'm a fan of Perot, so
right. Yeah, he did Hercule Poirot for so long, and now Kenneth Branagh is doing it. But David Suchet, he was the vice president of the Agatha Christie Society until, yeah, for a while. I'll just say that. He was the vice president for a while. Um, Tate Pitchie Cooper plays the young landlord in the flashbacks. Mariah Gale plays Eliza, the wooden mother in this case. She was Caroline Hughes in Broadchurch season 3. Mandy Dillon plays Shireen. She was Lieutenant Garen in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Alice Hukin plays Felicity. She was Jackie Chan in The Crown season 2. She was a child of the forest in Game of Thrones season 4. She was in Solo, a Star Wars movie. And most recently, she was Allie Park in The Amateur. Ben Presley plays Paul. I remember him mostly as the jester in Gallivant, so it was nice to see him in something else. Colin Ryan plays Harry, who does a lot of voiceover work for video games. And his character Harry was supposed to be the grandson of Harry Sullivan because the writer Mike Bartlett really liked Harry as a Doctor Who fan. But they thought it was too obscure for the general audience, and I'm like, oh, Moffat does worse. So why didn't you just make it Harry's grandson?
Yeah.
I don't know if you get not Alpha Trion, Alpha Centauri. You can give Harry a grandson. But yeah, that's too bad. I think that would have been fine. Bart Suavec plays Pavel, and Sam Benjamin plays the estate agent, showing them all the different houses that they rejected. Like I mentioned, there is a DVD commentary for this episode on the season 10 DVD set, Blu-ray set, and it features Bill Anderson, who directed this, as well as Thin Ice, the previous episode, and Mike Bartlett, who wrote this episode. So, knock knock. Who is this episode good for? Or more specifically, this episode is good for who? A new viewer, a casual viewer, a fan of the show, or a diehard?
I think I'm gonna say a casual viewer because I do on the second watch. I do enjoy this episode, but I feel like I have the same kind of issues that have been mentioned from the first watch. I remember, and it's a good I think we put this on our list of like Halloween episodes to watch because it's got the creepiness. But I wouldn't introduce somebody to Doctor Who with this episode. I'm trying to think. Yeah, especially in this season, because there's so many better episodes that would be an introduction to the world of Doctor Who. But maybe if somebody was like a carpenter or really into Halloween, maybe it would be the one for them.
Or a hippie that's a tree hugger?
Yeah, yes. Or a young
or like
person
bugs.
who, a young person who's just moving to college or just moving in with people. Like, yeah, you'll understand this.
So keeping it casual?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm also gonna say casual. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun little episode. Nothing in it really to make me want to like watch it again, except for David Suchet. So I am going to watch it again, but that also only because, full disclosure, I only saw the second half of this episode, so I think I owe it to this episode to watch it from the beginning. But I probably won't revisit it again for quite a while, so I can't really say fan. So I'm going to say this is good for a casual viewer.
I could agree. Mostly because, well, one thing I was thinking of is because I know a lot, like we all do, and my mind went to those other scenarios. I don't think this is best for a diehard because you're going to read too much maybe into it. So casual, I think, is good. The one thing I wish they would have put in there is to answer the knock knock with a statement rather than a question of who's there. The doctor who's there. I needed that little silly joke of when they open the door, who's there? It's right
A
there.
missed opportunity.
So yes, but I'd say casual.
I'll say casual too. It's a self-contained episode that is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. Casual for me. It's got a lot of good things. I remember really enjoying the setup, but it's just that ending really feels too rushed for the pacing that they were going for. And I really want them to include a cut on the DVD or Blu-ray next time whenever they double dip for including those deleted scenes and things they cut out. And just, you can keep the tag, but now that you don't have the constraints of a broadcast set time, you can add those things in, and I think they would make this better. Yeah, the sound design really shines through this episode as well. And I think this is casual as well, because I would introduce this to some horror fans. So that's not everybody, as in a new viewer. It's a very specific niche. So I'm sure it's something they'd like, and I think they would enjoy it.
Okay.
All right, so that wraps up Knock Knock. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time when the future becomes the present.
You just listened to an episode of Who Knew?
Our wonderful theme music is by Michael Grady.
Find him on Facebook at The Universe Explodes.
Additional music is by Damiel Paggio.
Additional music by Paul Ohlers.
All our episodes are engineered by Auburn, and you can find him at auburnbinkley.com.
You can also find this show in several places.
Follow us on Twitter at Who Knew Podcast.
Subscribe, review, and listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Or on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Who Knew Podcast.
All our episodes are on whoknewpodcast.com.
Visit our Facebook page.
Please leave comments, reviews, and click like to support Who Knew Podcast.
To listen to our show on your Amazon Echo device, subscribe to us on Amazon Music.
And then ask your Amazon device to play your podcast subscriptions.
This podcast is inspired by Doctor Who,
the longest-running sci-fi show in history.
And especially the revival spearheaded by Russell T. Davis.
Thanks to Russell, Sidney Newman,
Verity Lambert, Ron Grainer,
and all those involved in the adventures of our favorite Time Lord.
Your work continues to inspire and entertain.
Hello, this is Sylvester McCoy. You've just listened to an episode of Who Knew? Clever name.